Work hard, play hard, watch hard. This is for Let's Play.
This Jordan arriving about 2 hours ago. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms. He was up all last night, spent all day in bed, did not eat at all. Jordan to the crossover. Yes. Oh, by Jordan. What a play by Michael Jordan.
This man, Michael Jordan, is still the best player in basketball. He's on top of his game. He is so sick right now. He'd love to be lying down on a bed somewhere, and he's still playing well.
Jordan, yes! Michael Jordan, who can barely remain standing. He has played 35 minutes. He has scored 30 points. Here's Jordan. Yes! A heroic performance by Michael Jordan.
Well, Phil Jackson called it, we are back in Chicago, because he said the Bulls would win one in Utah to bring it back here, but who'd have thought it would have been in such dramatic fashion? Oh, Mr. Jackson!
I feel good, man.
Well, this would be stuff then, good stuff.
Yeah, sick like Jordan. I'm trying to get my performance illmatically going on. Michael Jordan, too much, man. One of the best performances ever.
And of course, that performance has given the Bulls 2 chances now to win this title, but the maths aren't so good for the Jazz.
Yeah, well, you know, the Bulls proved they can win in Utah. Now, Utah has to show that they can win here in the United Center. They got 2 chances to do it, because if they don't do it, right now, it's over.
That's
in
right.
other words, my friend, Karl Malone, healthy, better play like Jordan did. Sick.
Ain't that the truth? It is Game 6 for you in quite a remarkable series. And here with the story, in fact, of Game 5 is Dave. In fact, yeah, there's Dave. All right, Dave, peace!
Actually, dudes, look closely. I'm up here. I had to get away to avoid you guys and those crazy loud fans before Game 5.
The fans both outside and inside of the arena, fired up by their Utah Jazz. Much conversation concerning the noise level, the decibel level count here at Adelphia Center.
The Jazz came out jamming like Bob Marley in the first quarter as Ostertag finally came up big.
Nice. With the first bucket of the game.
Jordan was showing the effects of being violently ill. The nausea seemed to be contagious as Chicago went down by 16 in the first half. The Jazz kept the pressure on as the mailman found some points for the bench. Shannon Anderson was the recipient. And Chris Morris cranked it up to give the starters a big lift.
Shot clock at 4. Morris.
Jordan took a breather whenever he could get one, and Scottie Pippen held the troops together. He started a furious comeback before the half to cut the lead to 4. Jordan got some fluids and rest at halftime. The pit stop did him some good. The third quarter went back and forth, and the stars showed up for the Jazz.
And Stockton combining.
The Chicago bench chipped in to keep the Bulls in it in the fourth.
Williams. Oh, he enjoyed that one.
Man, Jordan was tired. There was no way he could save the Bulls this time near the end of the game. But they went to him anyway.
And he's tied the game at 77.
And Mike dropped the final bomb on the Jazz.
Jordan, yes.
Jordan finished with 38 points. And this from a guy who was sick. The legend of MJ rolls on.
Michael Jordan. A performance that I think will go down as one of the greatest of his career because of the situation.
I was really tired. I was very weak. At halftime, I told Phil that use me in spurts. But, I mean, somehow I found the energy. Just stayed strong. I wanted it really bad.
To watch him on the sideline, and even before the game, he was just listless, you know, could hardly sit up. I've never seen him look like that, ever. And I was amazed that he even played. The fact that he went out and was able to muster up the kind of performance that he did speaks volumes for him. And you can't say any more about a guy than that.
First of all, I didn't know he's sick. And I thought he played a great game. Did everybody else know he was sick? I guess I was the last one to know.
John, what does the team's mood now, going back to Chicago for the next game?
Well, we're not pleased, obviously. I think that winning this game would have put us in a pretty good position to go back there and play with a lot of confidence and close this thing out. Now our backs are to the wall, no question about it, and we need to go back to the let's just win this one.
They have a lot of confidence when they came in here, and obviously we have to have some ourselves, and there's nothing you can save. You can't save anything on Friday because if you save it, your vacation will start earlier than you want it to start. So we'll see what happens.
Challenge me. Doubt me. Disrespect me. Tell me I'm older. Tell me I'm slower. Tell me I can no longer fly. I want you to.
There's no debating the facts. Jordan is the best player in the game. This year, the people in the know picked Malone for the MVP. Mistake? Let's see. In crunch time, what does Malone do?
Scores tied. 9 seconds left. Oh, missed the break.
In clutch time, what can Malone do?
Here's Malone stepping back for the fadeaway. Bad shot.
Money time, Jordan wins the game.
We're down to 2. Now to 1. Here's Jordan.
Money time, Mike hits the big 3.
Here's Jordan. Michael Jordan.
It's not like Malone can't play the game.
Malone with the step. That's what the MVP means. Here's Malone. Yes.
Unfortunately for the Jazz, Karl Malone can't deliver this kind of move. And no way could he score 38 points while barely being able to walk. Sorry, Karl. Only one guy should have won the MVP this year.
I'm not going to give it back.
Utah one of their first 4. Chicago 1 of 7 here at the start. Single coverage on Malone. Looking for the backdoor pass, but broken up. Beautiful by Longley. Longley able to handle that pass, and he should have.
Well, good pass by Ron Harper, who is the sharpest player on the court early on.
Crowd wanted to travel. They thought Russell took the extra step right in front of the Chicago bench. On a set of fouls, and immediately looked over at Bennett Salvatore. He felt that he was fouled. Not much happening here at the start. Game is tied at 2. 4 minutes have been played. Rodman for 3.
That's the kind of shot that Phil Jackson just abhors. Took him out of game 4 when Dennis was playing with that offensive theory. Another fadeaway.
Not only are these 2 clubs not hitting, but the shots have been way off. Now Jordan met by Stockton. Jordan yet to attempt the shot. Here it is. And Ostertag with the rebound.
Oh, both teams totally out of sync. Neither team can get anything going. They actually need a timeout to settle down and try to figure out what exactly they would like to do with their half-court offense.
Stockton with the beautiful move to beat Harper off the dribble, and Harper looking around, saying, where's the help? Utah Jazz looking to tie the series, which would set up a 7th and final game here at the United Center on Sunday night. Pippen, yes, and the game is tied at 4.
Well, this is a strategy the Bulls have been going to quite a bit with the taller Scottie Pippen working against just 6'4" Jeff Hornacek. It has been up and down.
Malone with the outside shot, which has not been clicking.
It was that little double clutch, the hitch on the way up that took it out of his rhythm. Nobody can block that shot. Just go ahead and shoot it.
And here's Pippen again. This time, Scottie Pippen going glass. So the Bulls lead by 2.
Brian Russell took a lot of criticism from his coach, Jerry Sloan, for doubling down on Scottie Pippen on the key three-pointer by Jordan the other night. Last 2 posts up for Pippen, left one-on-one.
Shot clock at 6. Ostertag. And Pippen with the rebound. Scottie Pippen had a solid game the other night, although the numbers offensively do not necessarily show it. Longley spinning his way and rebounded by Russell.
Mark, when Jordan had the kind of game that he did in Game 5, anybody else's numbers are going to seem irrelevant.
Pippen, the basket counts and the foul. It's the Jazz 11 and the Bulls 10. 4:20 remaining in this opening quarter. Marv Albert with Matt Dukas, Bill Walton, Ahmad Rashad, Jim Gray. Isley with a nice move and then pops it back out. Here's Russell for 3. Yes. Ryan Russell has hurt the Bulls from the perimeter. He's been hurting him with the shot from downtown. The Jazz up now by 4.
He'll get a lot of those shots, Mark. He cannot ever hesitate.
Well, when you're guarding Brian Williams, you think of him as a left-hander, but he has developed a good move going to his right and has had a number of them in this series.
And Brian is playing at a higher level of intensity than any front court player tonight.
Isley was way off and it led to the loose ball foul. It's against the Bulls. The Bulls have gone over 6 minutes without a field goal, trailing 26-18. We are early in the second quarter. 2.5 minutes have gone by. Ryan Williams working his way on Antoine Carr. And it's all Jazz to the board.
That triangle offense just turns into one-on-one basketball. Very difficult to execute in playoff basketball.
Fusion on the state of the Jazz. Stockton settles him down, calls for his pick.
Finds the open Foster. Oh, way off.
Watch your face.
And Scottie Pippen.
Oh, terrific job by Brian Williams, who fumbled that rebound, but out of the corner of his eye, knew that Scottie Pippen released on the play, able to recover and threw the ideal pass.
Bulls went 6 minutes and 52 seconds between field goals. Now trailing by 6. Kukos went for the steal. He gambled, but could not come up with it. And Shandon Anderson has been a presence off the bench. He now has 5 points. The Jazz are up by 8.
But a little bit of tentative play by the reserves for Utah. Uncharacteristic, because they have been strong throughout the playoffs.
Michael Jordan adjusting the shot, and he drew the foul. The Jazz only 2 of their last 12. This after a 7-minute drought that the Bulls went through. Not able to hit a field goal for nearly 7. 34-second buzzer went off. Phil Jackson of the Bulls claimed that shot should not have counted, but it does. Brian Russell with a 3.
The players have to adjust to what Matt was talking about. The refs aren't going to call anything. Michael's the only player that sensed that at this point.
Utah by 7. Jordan for 3. And rebounded by Morris. Chris Morris continues to play well. This time put the brakes on. Bad pass, and a steal and saved by Kukoc.
Offensive foul on Scottie Pippen. Trying to free up Jordan in the back court with a little bit of a screen. Phil Jackson extremely upset with the lack of call here. And Scottie Pippen just pushed Brian Russell over.
And that's number 2 committed by Pippen. Stockton setting it up on Kerr. Trying to use the screen. Russell for 3. Yes. Beautiful setup. Malone came over to set that wide pick up high, and it freed up Brian Russell.
Are the athletic role players for Utah. Anderson, Chris Morris, and Brian Russell are playing terrific. Oh, that's a good block there. Tough call against Chris Morris.
The Jazz by 10. It matches their biggest lead of the night. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Jordan trying to put moves on Anderson. And then met by Hornacek providing help. Kukoc for 3. Tony Kukoc hitting from downtown, from deep in the corner. 42-35 the score. The Jazz with the lead.
Michael Jordan is so good. What a perfect pass after he was completely shut down. A thing of beauty to watch.
And for Kukoc, his first field goal. Malone from Stockton. John Stockton with the one-hop setup. Down to 12 seconds remaining in the half. The Jazz by 9. Jordan setting up for a final shot, directing traffic. Out of 3. Here's Jordan getting the step and hitting. 6/10 of a second remaining. All Malone and Rodman bumping each other. Joe Crawford on the scene immediately, indicating at least one technical, and then checking it over. Let's see. Well, it's a double technical on Malone and Rodman.
So, Scoop, we'd have to say, not the first half this home crowd was expecting.
Nah, man, nobody said it had to be pretty, but we know from watching this series how things can flip around and get live in the second half.
This is the truth, and that will be out for you in a couple of minutes' time. Plus, also, we announced the winner of that Dream All-Star trip.
Can we help?
1,000 thank yous. Please, do me the honor of visiting my humble home.
His humble home.
My home is yours. My attendants will see to your every wish.
This is unbelievable.
I don't care what it is. I want them for my wives.
I've only just met him. I want him for my wife.
And his dreams.
If the Sheikh wants them for his wives, the Sheikh has them for his wives.
Gone? Was it something I said?
Peugeot, the drive of your life.
Being single has never been so much fun. Lines are open 24 hours, so call the Singles Network on 0891 808 808.
So because this 106 comes with totally free insurance and I'm making a lot of dosh, I thought I'd buy another 20 and save even more.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So 37-44, it's a Jazz lead. Second half soon to come. But first, let's take care of business. We've had the competition running all year, and it's a chance now to find out who actually won. First up, Mr. Jackson. Couple of runners up. They get a load of NBA goodies, plus a trip to our own coaching camp. And those individuals are...
Yes, Miss Alex Vandenberg is number 1. And guess who else? Mr. David Durham is number 2.
Congratulations indeed. But now the big one, the dream trip early in the new year to go to New York for that All-Star game. And we have one winner, and it is...
Bam! Mr. Danny Harris, New York bound.
Nice one indeed. Well done, Danny, to you. Okay, let's move on to this second half. We said at the start of the game, Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, both hitting the show. Not too impressive in that first half.
Now, Michael had an all right first half. Karl Malone had a bad first half. But we've seen in this series that second half, maybe the last 7 minutes of the game, could be some of the best basketball you see. I'm feeling the Bulls kind of want this. I'm kind of leaning toward Mike, man. Mike, I think Mike wants to close this out.
There you go. The first prediction of the finals from Mr. Jackson. How about it? Let's see how it goes in that second half.
Chicago Bulls are hoping to wrap it up here tonight, and Michael Jordan cuts it to a 5-point Utah lead.
2 penetrations and the line of defense in the back for Utah. Ostertag just breaks down. His knees aren't flexed. His hands aren't up. He's too slow.
Stockton and Hornacek in the backcourt. Malone, Ostertag, Russell up front. Illegal defense is the call against Chicago. That is their first.
At the end of the first half, Karl Malone walking off the court, and there's Brian Williams, and neither one of them given an inch. The playoffs have begun.
A little testy, the extracurricular activity, following some technical fouls that were handed out late in that second quarter. Malone trying to work on Rodman. Stockton trying to change that shot. He has nowhere to go with it.
The height of the guards. Stockton's not going to be able to get that shot to go.
Another thing Phil Jackson had to be upset about in that first half. 10 uncharacteristic turnovers for the Bulls.
And back comes Stockton. Met by Holmberg. Malone from Stockton. Karl Malone with 12 points. The Jazz leading 46-39.
That's what Jerry Sloan was talking about at halftime. Push the ball at every opportunity. They have to get some easy baskets and not try to grind it out against the tough second half Chicago defense.
This a Chicago team that went 39-2 here at home during the regular season. That's the best mark in the league. It counts in the foul. Scottie Pippen getting the friendly roll. Now Jordan posting up and finishes with the fadeaway. So Michael Jordan has 20, and he's picked it up from the second quarter on. It is a 5-point Utah lead.
Karl Malone also getting better. What separates Jordan is great defense, Scottie Pippen, and here comes Jordan.
Jordan putting moves on Stockton. Jordan putting moves on Hornacek and going the distance. The Utah lead is down to 3. We have played 4 minutes of the third. The outside official, Steve Javie, indicating foul number 4 on Luke Longley.
Now Michael Jordan working in the post now, getting into the lane, surrounded by 3 Utah Jazz players, but able to hang in the air and fade. And Karl Malone thought he was fouled by Pippen, was arguing with the official all the way back. Did not help in transition defense, and that left Michael all alone with Hornacek.
Jordan just moves so much better than everybody else. The way Dr. J did, the way Elgin Baylor did.
Reaching in, trying to knock it away, was called for the foul. That's the second committed by Rodman.
Well, Dennis Rodman has had his problems guarding Malone in the post in the first half. Second half, much improved. We can get away with one there.
But Karl cannot let guys reach over his back when he's trying to receive down deep.
The Jazz have led by as many as 10. They've had that 10-point lead on a couple of occasions. Beautiful backcourt feed. Malone finding Stockton.
It's like automatic. Once a game, that they get that little give-and-go cut for John Stockton. He can bank it.
8 points for Stockton. But for John, only 3 assists to this point. Rodman.
Terrible shot. Jordan wide open. He's hot. You're going to go away from him. Why?
Hornacek. Yes. Jeff Hornacek at the foot on the line. It's a 2-pointer. The Jazz up by 7, and the Bulls take a timeout.
Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan have over 75% of the offense for Chicago. Rodman has 0 offensive rebounds. Just 7 for the entire series so far for Rodman. Last year in Seattle, he had 41.
Oh, but a beautiful play by Dennis Rodman. A 12-out foul. offensive foul on John Stockton.
Well, Utah has had trouble with the pick and roll up here, and this is where Dennis Rodman plays it best. He actually made the little bump and the flop back. John Stockton agrees with me.
How can John Stockton knock Dennis Rodman down? Dennis Rodman's in there battling with Karl Malone.
Well, for Stockton, it's number 3. Here's Jordan putting moves on Russell. Resetting, firing. Rebounded by Ostertag.
Well, one thing Chicago can do, give the ball to Brian Williams up around the top of the key elbows there. He can beat Ostertag off the dribble. He may not score, but it might enable Dennis Rodman to get his first offensive rebound or somebody else.
Stockton, nicely done. Off the fake, John Stockton. He has 10 points.
And it's all one-on-one for Chicago. It's Michael making his move, Scotty doing his, and everybody else standing there watching.
Utah by 7. The Bulls have missed their last 5 shots. And some sloppy pass work. Jordan, yes! He throws foul.
How is that not a foul? Ostertag hammering down.
The Jazz by 5. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter. And now the foul is called on Rodman in a animated conversation with Bennett Salvatore. That's 3 on Dennis.
Terrific pass by Dennis Rodman as Michael Jordan had to hang in the air those extra couple of seconds as only he can, knowing he's in trouble with the 7'2" shot blocker, but he was just able to outlast Ostertag.
So the Jazz up 60-55. Rodman is first point, but he has done a good job off the boards. He has 8 rebounds. They double up on Iceland. Ostertag, nice pass. Karl Malone from Greg Ostertag, and the Jazz have a 7-point advantage.
They haven't been going to Karl, but he's been getting his numbers by running the floor and moving without the ball.
Nicely over to help out on Jordan. And a 3-second violation.
Good ball movement for the Jazz. Call it the high post here. Then it swings all the way around and then just slides right down the lane. Textbook basketball. Perfect execution in the half-court set.
At the other end of the floor, Howard Isley is not going to worry about Randy Brown at the offensive end. He'll be looking to help out on Jordan or Pickett.
Oh, Jordan scooped it up on the steal. The Bulls are hoping it gets the crowd going. The crowd has been quiet. They have not had much to cheer about. The level of play has not been at a high level.
Jordan just going for steals on every play here.
Utah by 5. Shot clock to 3. Hornacek. And the blocking foul is called out here. Looking for a charge. Utah up 68-61. Just under 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Then a big bounce-back performance by the Jazz after the loss of ball. Oh, what a shot by Isley.
Randy Brown played it perfectly. Isley, outstanding player. A free agent like a lot of these Utah Jazz are.
Utah by 9. Smart's got a piece of it. Jordan way off after the fake. Whistler has to fire it. That could be a huge shot. Since Jordan did not make contact with the rim, the 24-second clock was down to 1. And Whistler hit the 3. The Jazz now leading 70-64. We come up on 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Isley kept alive by Morris. That's the end of the third quarter.
Your Chicago Bulls 64.
Saxo VTS is a Saxo, but with a bit of the devil inside it.
Jazz 73 and the Bulls 66. In this fourth quarter. And yes, well, tried to call for time, but did not get the call on the careless pass. So the Bulls get it back. Brian Williams setting it up on Karl Malone. Here's Kerr on a quick release. Steve Kerr with a two-pointer. It's down to 5.
And Chicago is going to have to figure out how they want to play these pick and rolls. Steve Kerr has had all kinds of problems with John Stockton on this play.
Minute and a half gone by in the fourth. Peterson way off after the setup by Stockton. Pippen for 3. Yes. Utah needs a timeout. The Bulls are within 2, and Jerry Sloan will talk it over. The Jazz lead is down to 2. They've led by as many as 10. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Malone met by the double. Shot clock at 5. Stopped it. You saw Kerr try to draw that back. The tip was missed, and then rebounded by Williams. Utah wanted to travel. Here comes Kukoc. Kerr. First throw. Williams. Played by Malone. Ryan Williams. Stripped by Malone. Kukoc retrieved. Shot clock at 3. Williams. Back for Kukoc. And rebounded by Anderson.
That's a typical Karl Malone defensive play. Stripping the ball down low. Brian Williams is aware of that and still laid it out for him to knock away.
MVP time for Karl Malone. No delivery, taking away once again. There's nobody guarding him. Get to the hoop, please.
Steve Kerr setting it up for Tony Kukoc. Here's the screen by Williams. Kerr for 3. Yes! The Chicago Bulls have taken the lead for the first time since the opening minute when they led 2-0. Anderson sets it up for Malone, and he was fouled. The game is tied at 74. Malone, yes, Karl Malone got the roll. So Malone has picked it up in the second half now as 19, and Utah leads by 2.
Scottie Pippen gunshot and come down and double team Malone. He got hurt a couple of times in the first half. That enables Malone to get in the lane.
Oh, Jordan had the step, and that was stripped. It will be Chicago ball.
Karl Malone in the hoop. We've been chastising him for fading away. This time he rolls right in and gets the friendly bounce. Finally.
Jordan, yes. And he's tied the game at 76. 31 points for Michael Jordan.
I don't think that Michael Jordan. Oh, what a...
Anderson. Throwing the stuff. He thought he was fouled.
Jerry Sloan livid there was no call.
Jordan being played now by Hornacek. Goes right at him. Beats him off the dribble. And then lost his balance. And the ball kicked out of bounds. The last touch by the Jazz. Both teams have 2 team fouls. Jordan on the pull-up. And rebounded by Russell. Well, they made a change on that foul. It's Hornacek, not Stockton. Here's Hornacek firing. Yes, a 3 out for Jeff Hornacek, who now has 5 fouls. So Hornacek with 5 and Stockton with 3. And the Jazz up 79-76. And deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Russell. So it will be Chicago ball. Look at the foul rundown. 5 on Hornacek, 4 apiece on Longley, Pippen, and Williams.
You can't just open up the floodgates.
Well, there's no shot blocker in there. The whole weak side defense had their back turned. As Michael has been thinking, take the ball to the basket. You better have some help in there.
It is a 1-point Utah lead. 33 for Jordan. Anderson got the step. And Pippen had a kind of pullback. Did not want to pick up number 5.
Matt pointed out earlier that Scotty's just chasing that ball all the time. So who's ever matched up with Scotty can get wide open. Jordan.
And Malone trying to keep it alive. Knocked it out of bounds. So it will be Chicago maintaining possession.
Michael Jordan just able to overpower Shannon Anderson. Nothing Hornacek can do. He's playing with 5 personal fouls. Karl Malone, not a shot blocker up high, had his back turned anyway.
Delay of game was just called on the Jazz. 5:45 remaining in the 4th quarter. And the Jazz up by 3 points. And it knocked away. And again, last touch by Malone.
Multiple opportunities. Everything under the basket is going Chicago's way. Karl Malone frustrated. Jerry Sloan disappointed. Malone has got to take over this defensive backboard. Snatch some balls. Knock some shots down.
Kukoc, played by Hornacek, with 5 fouls. Kukoc goes around Hornacek.
Oh, that's what Tony Kukoc should do. Have not seen it at all in the series till that play.
That's the matchup I was trying to get to, but I had it flip-flop.
The Jazz by 1. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
Again, Bernie, Scotty, Pippen, and Shannon Anderson cannot convert the layup.
That's the second time he's playing the layup, and this time Jordan comes right back. Anderson thought he was fouled. No foul called. And the Bulls have taken a 1-point lead. Here's the trap on Stockton. And a foul. A holding foul. And the foul on Pippen. That's his 5th.
Scotty gambling, as Matt has been pointing out, and Shannon Anderson cannot get this layup. Should have taken it up strong side. There was nobody there to contest. Now, Jim Gray has been telling us that Utah has to come to the ball and not run away from it against the Chicago press.
What do you do with Pippen? You keep him on the floor here. 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. He looked over at the bench. Kukoc on the intercept. Scottie Pippen is playing with 5. He and Phil Jackson just had communication, in fact.
I think you've got to leave him in right now. There's very little time left.
And the foul on Russell. Tony Kukoc emerging as a major factor. A very tough matchup for Utah.
Experienced players know how to play with 5 fouls. Scottie Pippen has basically been a rover anyway. Has not had individual defense responsibility, but obviously he has to be careful.
Both teams have 3 team fouls. Jordan, Russell has brought him down, but Jordan could not take advantage. Hornacek playing with the 5, racing it down. And aggressively by Curl. Russell for 3.
Never had a good look at it. Was looking to pass initially.
Well, Kukoc trying to avoid the charge. The officials shoot over. It's Chicago ball.
That brings a look of bewilderment to Jerry Sloan.
And Scottie Pippen just looked over here. I think he said, I got away with one there. I thought he slapped that ball out of bounds.
Just under 4 minutes remaining. 4th quarter. The Bulls hoping to wrap the series in this game number 6. The Jazz looking to extend to a 7th game. Jordan with the spin. Yes! And the Bulls lead by 3, 84-81. A whistle. Bennett Salvatore calling the foul. Let's see. May have been Haven Rodman.
A moment ago, Scottie Pippen slapping that ball at half court. They did not call a foul, and then Jordan comes right back and drills that baseline jumper unguardable.
And it was Rodman on the personal. That is his fourth. And the fourth team foul on Chicago. Utah has 3. Malone over Rodman. Yes. So Karl Malone with a big bucket as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Bulls lead by 1.
Well, Karl is battling much harder for that low post position in this game than in last, and Rodman can't handle him inside.
But Karl can't get the defensive rebound.
However, Joe Crawford with the call against Utah.
Chicago can get Kukoc in the paint when they want it.
Here's Jordan. Rodman's back tap handled by Stockton. And the Jazz with an opportunity to recapture the lead. Stockton using the screen. Sets it up for Hornacek. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan saw the opening and then gave it up to Kerr. Jordan. The Bulls 86 and the Jazz 83.
How you respond to pressure, that's going to determine this game. It's been Jordan huge so far. Now it's Karl Malone starting to battle the MVP.
Well, Hornacek had to save that pass. Russell for 3. An enormous shot by Ryan Russell. He's 5 of 8 from downtown. He's tied the game at 86.
Terrific job by Jeff Hornacek just to get rid of the ball, get it out to Shannon Anderson, who doesn't want to shoot it, but got it to somebody who will.
A minute and a half left in the fourth. Pippen. Scottie Pippen on the follow. And the kick missed by Wagner. Gathered in by Stockton. Stockton checking with Jerry Sloan at the bench. 1:15 remaining. The Jazz desperately trying to stay alive to send it to a 7th and deciding game. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. The game is tied at 86. Jordan with the step. Jordan not able to hit. He thought he was fouled. And it's Utah ball with 45 seconds to go in the fourth.
And finally a defensive rebound for Karl Malone. The shot clock's in their favor if they play it smart.
10 on the 24. Stockton getting the screen. Stockton with the pass. Finding Anderson. It's missed on a reverse. And a timeout is called by Chicago.
No surprise, during that timeout, Michael Jordan kept saying over and over, give it to me, give it to me. So he will be isolated. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, Ahmad. Well, Jerry Sloan was saying, don't run away from Michael. Stay with him this time. Whatever you do, stay with him. If you're picked off him, get right back to him. Mark?
All right, Jim, 25 seconds in regulation. Game tied at 86. 4-second differential between the 24-second clock and the game clock. It is Michael Jordan time. Scottie Pippen looking for Michael Jordan. Checks the clock. 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot. Kerr does. 5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Jazz take a timeout. Well, Steve Kerr with 7 of his 9 points in the fourth quarter. Remember the statement from Charles Barkley about a month ago? If he had a game on the line, 1 shot to take, the man to take it, according to Barkley, would be Steve Kerr.
Well, he wanted it and told Michael Jordan in that huddle, as the barbershop told him, if my man leads to double Stockton, I am stepping right into that shot, and Steve let it go with confidence.
Now the question is, how will the Jazz play it? You look for the best possible shot. You look for the 3. You look for the 2.
On the move. Go with either Stockton, preferably on the move to set up Brian Russell or Shandon Anderson.
Well, Russell will inbound. He's been the hot man from 3-point range. And they took the delay of game. wanted to get a look at what Utah was about to do. 5 seconds remaining in regulation. The inbound. Their fifth championship in the last 7 years. Just 0.6 of a second remaining. It's a 4-point lead. There will. Now probably they'll say now it's over. The clock did run out. The Utah Jazz indicating that there still could have been 0.6 of a second remaining. But the indication is it is all over. The Bulls have won the title by defeating the Jazz 90-86. It is Bedlam here at the United Center. Chicago Bulls, their second straight championship, 5 in 7 years. For the Utah Jazz, the conclusion to what has been a terrific season. A record of 64-18, a franchise record, but this is how it concluded for the Jazz.
Marv, the height of Tony Kukoc on the inbounds pass, he deflected that ball, and when it bounced, Scotty just dove for it, and then the finishing slam for Kukoc to cap it.
That was Shannon Anderson on the floor, not really a threat. Scottie Pippen looking to hang in the middle of the floor, so quick to it, and then having the wherewithal to knock it loose to Kukoc before he can get fouled.
And Phil Jackson, so calm, toward peace with himself. And then the triumphant fist in the air. And his darts whistling, the true sign of a coach.
MVP here in Chicago, then directed to Michael Jordan, who finished as the runner-up in the regular season to Karl Malone. The celebration continues here at the United Center in Chicago.
Congratulations, Chicago. Congratulations, Chicago Bulls. Congratulations, these spectacular players. Here it is, the trophy.
All right, now it's time to present the Most Valuable Player Award for 1997 Finals. Once again, here's the commissioner.
Who could it be? He's the best basketball player in the world. He's got the most courage we've ever seen. Congratulations, Michael Jordan, 1997 Finals MVP.
That he was your MVP.
Scottie Pippen we're a tandem. It's hard to split us up. He means a lot to me when I go out and play on the basketball court. He relieves a lot of the pressure that I have to deal with. I try to do the same for him. It's hard to take this MVP by myself. He's got to take half of it. I take the trophy, he may get the call.
Scotty, the first one had to be real sweet. What about the fifth one?
This one is great. It was a lot tougher for us, a very difficult task to beat the Utah Jazz. We take our hats off to them. They gave us a hell of a series, but we stepped up as champions to do, and we brought it back home for number 5.
Yes, sir!
Steve, that big shot. Michael was double-teamed. You ended up with the ball. Tell us about it.
Well, Michael told me during the timeout to be ready. He said, Stockton's going to come and double me. You be ready. I said, I'll make one for you.
How many times have you watched that tape of John Paxson in the championship against Phoenix, and was that the same feeling?
I'll tell you what, it's been pretty tough to live up to John Paxson and what he did, and I'm just glad I finally made one of those big shots. I've had a hell of a year, and I'm not going to let anybody second guess that, because when you start doing that, you might as well quit, and I'm not a quitter. I don't feel that. You know, I felt I came out and I played hard. I didn't have the kind of series I would like to, and everybody will say whatever they want to say, but not at all. You know, I came out and I tried to play hard every night, and sometimes the shots might not be there or the free throw, but the effort was there every night. So, no, I don't feel like I let anybody down. If they do, to hell with them.
Well, the hat says it all here. It's number 5. It is that fist of the titles. I reckon it's easy with the Bulls every time they win. It's never easy, is it?
No, it never is, man. Utah represented real well. It always happens like that with the Bulls, but they dig down deep. The championship squad, they know how to win these things, and man, lovely.
And we may have just witnessed a piece of history here, right? Apart from that 5.
Yeah, it could happen, man. Everybody could be gone. Phil could be gone. Mike could be gone. Scotty could be gone. And Dennis could be gone. So people better get a good look at this, man, and stay with this, because it could be the last time you see this team together.
That's right. Enjoy this moment. That is the last of us. Now, we, of course, will see you next time. And we're going to leave you with a man of the series.